What's up, YouTube? So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about Marquise Brown, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. So, if you guys didn't know, he is actually a cousin of Antonio Brown of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's got a similar body type to AB, about 5'10", probably below 180 pounds. But he is extremely fast. Maybe even faster than his cousin. I don't know. He can just run past people. I mean, I've seen it time and time again. Him just absolutely just blowing past defenders, and it's kind of crazy. But he's very good in space as well. He can definitely make people miss. You might even get some value out of him at a kick or punt return. I would say so. I haven't seen too much film on him returning, but I think he'd be good at it. He's very good in space. He's very good with gadget plays, end arounds, screens, stuff like that. Pretty much just get him the ball any way you can, and he's going to make a play. Tavon Austin, Percy Harvin, that kind of guy. But he's not as limited as some of those others because his route running is actually pretty decent. It's not great by any means. His head faking isn't the greatest, and he's not that great with his hands. He doesn't, as far as like press coverage, like man-to-man, he's not that good at defeating that with his hands. If you can get hands on him, he kind of gets stuck a little bit. But usually it's not too big of a problem for him. He just needs to get... His hands are decent. It's just he needs to get more consistent about fighting those hands off. He does it sometimes, but it's a little inconsistent. One thing I'd like to see from him is for him to sit down and sink his hips a little bit more when he's turning on a route. Let's say a post route, for example, or a slant, whatever. When he's coming into his route, I'd like for him to drop his hips nice and low. That's what I like from receivers. I like them to drop their hips nice and low and move their feet really quickly to accelerate fast. It's not like he doesn't do this at all. He does do it at times. He just needs to do it a little bit more consistently. His hands seem pretty consistent. He has a pretty decent catch radius considering his size, at least. Only being 5'10", it's not going to be that great. But, he can play in the slot. He's definitely seen playing in slot plays. But Oklahoma did a lot of gadget stuff with him. Putting him on option plays, being able to pitch it out to him. That may not work in the NFL depending on where he ends up. If he ends up in Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, he'd probably be okay. If he ends up with Carolina with Cam Newton, granted, I don't think Cam is going to be playing much next year because of injury, but something like that would work for him. Or hell, even if he ends up with Kyler Murray, wherever Murray ends up, that could end up working with him. That's his quarterback in college. But it just depends on what team he goes to. But he doesn't have to have those type of plays to be successful. He's a very, very dangerous deep threat. Just line him up, let him fly. He'll burn past pretty much any defensive back he comes across. He'll just beat them with speed. He'll find space. He doesn't drop too many balls. He's not like a Ted Ginn type player, although Ted Ginn has decent hands now, but he sure as hell didn't early on. Other Dolphins fans like me can attest to that. But yeah, I think he has all the tools to be a very good receiver in this league. I think that if you already have a decent tight end, a decent receiver who could, pick up those shorter routes, then I think this guy can just really finish off that receiving core, because his ability to just take the top off the defense is going to be it's going to be helpful at the end of the day. The only thing with these speed guys is that their speed rarely lasts for long periods of time. That's kind of the first thing that goes away as you get older. But honestly, when you draft a player, you usually have a 4-year deal with him anyway, and his speed won't go away in 4 years, most likely. So, if you get 4 years of having a dangerous outside weapon, you can't really be too mad about that. I don't see him as a first-round pick. I don't really value too many receivers as first-round picks unless you're like a Julio Jones, AJ Green, those kind of guys. But this guy can be a very good complementary player. If you already have some decent receivers on your team and you just need someone to take the top off, this is your guy for sure. I'm not going to do player comparisons. I'm not going to compare him to his cousin. I'm going to try not to do that. The only thing really in common is speed and size. But they're two totally different guys. He's probably going to get drafted a lot sooner than his cousin did. He has a little bit more attention to him. But, yeah, I truly do think he has all the tools to succeed in the league. If he ends up with the right team, he gets an accurate quarterback who can really make the most of that speed on those deep throws. I think he can have a lot of success, and he can be a very dangerous weapon if used right. Your Aaron Rodgers of the world, Tom Brady's, whatever. But I don't think. I wouldn't draft him early. I just don't value receivers as high. But like I said, unless you're one of those, Julio Jones guys, gonna be a franchise player, which I don't think that this draft really has anyone like that. They have a lot of good number 2 receivers, but no true number 1s, unfortunately. But hey, if you're looking for a speed guy, this is your guy, Marquise Brown. He's a junior, by the way, which that's fine, I guess. I usually like seniors because they just know a little bit more about the game, have a little bit more experience. But he like I said, he's got all the tools, so it's fine. That's pretty much all I have on him right now. There's not a whole lot to say. So if you like this video, press the like button. If you have anything to say or agree with me, disagree with me, leave it down in the comments. Share with anyone if you feel the need to do that. And let's get this discussion going. All right, see you in the next video.